So here it is, the second tower. It's called the Endless Strawberry Cake Tower, except it's not actually endless and it only has 100 trays. So this tower was made for beginners. How do I know that? Well, my account just kind of obliterates the majority of the trays. It's a completely unfair fight. This prevents me from truly enjoying the game mode. So to have fun, I decided to use someone's beginner account, and my goal is to beat 100 trays with his account if possible. So this account's owned by my imposter. You might have seen him before in previous videos. Let's just say his account's a bit questionable. First of all, he doesn't have Stormbringer even though she's free. He doesn't have Street Urchin, that's gonna be annoying later. He's missing a lot of cookies. He doesn't have Black Raisin's Magic Candy, that's pretty horrible. Hardly any ascensions on his cookies. Majority of the skills are level 70 or under. His treasures aren't maxed yet. And a lot of other irrelevant but bad things such as these labs. Yeah, I call this a beginner account. That's perfect. Let's head into tray 1 now. So I've seen a few guys about the Strawberry Cake Tower. However, there's something wrong about them. You know what I've seen? Here's how to beat tray 1. First, put a bunch of super epics, legendaries, and ancients in your team. Next, make sure to ascend your high rarity cookies. Make sure to equip level 20 legendary biscuits with good substats. Make sure all your magic candies are level 30. All your treasures must be level 12. And you must rely on raw power alone, not strategy. So here's the problem. This game mode's catered for beginners. Beginners obviously don't have all that fancy stuff. But today, I'm gonna do something about that. I'm gonna follow some heavy restrictions until I get stuck. I'm only allowed to use epic, special, and rare cookies. I'm not allowed to use any biscuits at all. Once I break those rules, then things become less beginner friendly. Now, here's the team we're gonna use for tray 1. We're gonna use this for a lot of other trays, so this is your best friend. I noticed that beginners struggle more with survivability rather than damage output, so this team's focused on survivability. There's absolutely no way you'll die with this. It's also the standard team used in BCs. Fettuccine uses 5 almonds and her taunts are really OP. She needs to be at least level 30 for the topping slots, and her skill's level 48, but actually is boosted to 70. She's 3 stars, but that's boosted to 5 stars. In this game mode, all your cookies are boosted to level 70. Their skill becomes level 70. They become 5 stars. However, a lot of stuff gets disabled. Labs, bonds, guild buffs, etc. they all don't matter. The topping substats are disabled, which are these 3 things right here. However, the main substat, which is this one right here, is not disabled. All your toppings need to be level 12 and epic, or you're screwed. Next, we have Yeti with 5 chocolate. They have an under-leveled skill and bad promotions. For the levels, I'm not sure if the cookie being in the Hall of Ancient counts or not, so this Yeti's either level 80 or 70, I'm not sure. Next, we have Rebel, the best AoE debuffer. He's using 5 chocolate. He has an under-leveled skill and bad promotions. Next, we have Caviar with 5 raspberry. He needs to be level 50 to unlock the magic candy, and the magic candy needs to be at least level 1. Mine's level 5 though. He's under-leveled, his skill's under-leveled, but he does have an ascension, which won't help that much. Finally, we have Parfait, the healer who does the most periodic healing. She uses 5 chocolate. Her candy needs to be level 1, but I got level 9. Bad skill and bad promotions. For the treasures, use the scroll, watch, and whistle. Either use the epic scroll or the rare scroll, whichever one gives you more attack percent, depending on the levels. For the watch, if your epic watch is level 11 or below, use the common watch. If your epic watch is level 12, then use the epic watch. Use the whistle no matter what. If you're missing any of these cookies, just buy them from the mileage shop, they're really cheap. Yeti's extremely easy to obtain from the pavilion. Snapdragon's a good alternative. Now we're ready to take on tray 1. Here's where the fun begins. Let's see how difficult it actually is. Wait a second, the enemies instantly died? You gotta be kidding me, even your mom can do this. Well, that's all for tray 1. For now on, I'll put the tray number in the top left corner. Tray 2, I decided to use 1 cookie, and then I remembered that this isn't helpful at all, so my bad. I gotta resist the temptation to do this. Tray 3, temptation got the best of me again, so my bad. Tray 4, what am I doing? You know what, here's the new rule. I'm forced to use 5 cookies, no matter what. Using less than 5 cookies is just not helpful. Tray 5, I'm being a normal person again. I'm gonna start using the tanky team a lot. Yes, that's what I'm naming it, the tanky team. Tray 6, I completely forgot that I did this, but I used 5 tanks. Don't do what I did. New rule, don't do stupid stuff. Tray 7, I'll teach you how to time everyone's skill. Actually, there is no timing, just spam everyone. Tray 8, we got the golden cheese robots that do a lot of debuffs. Their debuffs are so weak that they pretty much do nothing. Tray 9, it has those Shadow Milk paper storm thingies. They do absolutely nothing though. Tray 10, our first boss fight. This boss is a complete joke, but I'll show you a team anyways. I call it the Boss Killer. It's a team I ripped off from Alliance. It consists of Yeti, 5 chocolate, Financier, who's super OP, 5 chocolate and at least a level 1 candy. Mine's level 6, underleveled skill and bad promotions. Severely underleveled Linzer with a bad skill and bad promotions. For now we're using 5 almonds. You could add some caramels if she doesn't take the rope buff. There's also some wacky topping sets, but we'll get into that a lot later. Creme Brulee has 5 raspberry, underleveled skill, bad promotions. He should automatically take the rope buff. Cream Puff has 5 apple. This is one of the few cookies my imposter actually built correctly. 5A and a level 11 candy, not bad. So this team is really overkill for the boss. We'll be using it later though. In general, you also want to time Linzer's skill. Her first skill you can use right away, but after that you want to wait until she reaches 7 stacks and then use her skill. Don't do what I did just now. I didn't time her skill. Tray 11, I decided to try Financier, Rockstar Brulee, and Snapdragon. They're all good choices. You can use them if you want. Tray 12, I tried Prune and Tartatan. They're top tier epic DPS cookies. Tray 13, I just kinda use Frostlop for fun. She's better than the other epic DPSs, but I probably shouldn't be using her right now. Tray 14, back to using the tanky team. I'm normal again. Tray 15, I'm still using a normal team. That's pretty good. And then in Tray 16, things fell apart. I started to use a bunch of high rarity cookies for no reason. Surely, there isn't a team that's worse than this, right? Well, in Tray 17, I added super epics into it, just to mock free-to-plays, even though I am one. Tray 18, ew, a team of all super epics. What a disgusting sight. Tray 19, I got back on track and used a normal team, no super epics this time. Tray 20, it's time for a boss, Fish Gato. This one was over really quick. I just switched to the Boss Killer team. Fish Gato was no match for this. Alright, so you wouldn't believe what I did for Trays 21 through 29. I actually played them normally. At this point, the difficulty was still pretty low, so I just used the tanky team over and over and over again. Since all of those battles were the same, I'll just show you all 9 of them at once. Is this helpful in the slightest? Well, no, but you get the point, right? Yeah. Tray 30, we have the conductor boss. Is this boss difficult? Well, no, cause watch what Creme Brulee is about to do. Well, the boss got 3-shotted. All you have to do is time Linzer's skill. Tray 31 through 39. I used a tanky team for every single level, again. So here's all 9 of the levels. Except it's actually a scam. I'm reusing the level 21 through 29 footage. It's still accurate though, right? Tray 40 is when beginners start to struggle a little bit. This boss crowd controls your cookies, like a lot. It also has a really significant HP shield that you need to break. So here's a modified version of the Boss Killer team. Rebel for killing the minions fast and multi-hits. He has 5 chocolate. Financier for debuff immunity and a light damage boost, 5 chocolate. For Linzer, if you have attack speed on your biscuit, use 5 chocolate. Otherwise, add caramel topping so she gets the ropes. Creme Brulee, 5 raspberry. You want to make sure he gets the ropes with 5 raspberry. Cream Puff is the #1 damage booster for healers. Use 5 apple. Rebel should allow you to kill the minions fast and save a ton of time. No one's ever gonna believe this, but I'm pretty sure Rebel's secretly a DPS cookie. Rebel and Brulee break the boss's hit shield. After that, Brulee just kills the boss. Financier prevents Creme Brulee from getting crowd controlled too much. I'd say this seems pretty good. I came up with it by myself. Alright, time for Tray 41. This shouldn't be too hard, right? Nothing the tanky team can't handle. Wait a second. Why is this lizard not dead yet? A few moments later. Oh, come on! This team doesn't have enough damage output anymore. I guess I have to make a new one. We need more DPS cookies. For epics, Prune, Caviar, Tart, Twizzly, and Creme Brulee are the best damage healers. I'll choose 3 of them and put them into a Tri-DPS team. I decided to go with Caviar, Tart, and Brulee for now. And I'm gonna call this a Tri-DPS team. How original. Caviar, 5 raspberry. Tartatan, 5 raspberry, takes a rope buff. Creme Brulee, 5 raspberry, takes a rope buff. Rebel, 5 chocolate. Financier does a lot of things. She's our tank, she's our healer, and she gives us damage resist. She has 5 chocolate. If you need more AoE damage instead of single target damage, you can replace Brulee with Prune or Twizzly. Prune, 5 chocolate, Twizzly, 5 apple. I'm not gonna use them yet because I don't want to overcomplicate things. Now, this lizard can just die now. My quad DPS team is gonna shred it to bits. You know, Rebel's a DPS, right? This team does have one flaw. Its survivability is pretty bad. That's why we we need to use both this and a tanky team. Tray 42, shredded by the Tri DPS. Tray 43, the Tri DPS works again. Tray 44, I'm starting to see a bit of a pattern here. Tray 45, things get a bit sketchy. Crumble A dies from an error debuff. The tanky team would have been better for this, but hey, a win's a win. Tray 46, 47, and 48, I use the Tri DPS team and sweep through it. Tray 49, some cookies die while using the Tri DPS. The tanky team would have been better, but hey, if it works, it works. Tray 50 is golden cheese, and this one's a bit difficult for beginners, mostly due to golden cheese's sheer amounts of health. However, I'm still able to do tons of damage with a beginner account. Here's a team I made. It focuses on high damage. Rebel 5 chocolate, Caviar 5 raspberry, Linzer ideally 5 chocolate, but if she doesn't take the ropes, then give her some caramel. Brulee 5 raspberry, try to give him the ropes. Cream Puff 5 apple. Rebel's debuffs don't work on the boss. However, him and Caviar kill the minions really fast, giving you tons of time. After that, they only deal chip damage to the boss. Linzer, Crumble, and Cream Puff will take care of the rest. I tried using Financier instead of Caviar, but this is slightly better. Remember, my cookies are poorly built and I'm still doing massive damage, so you probably can too. Copy the exact team, slap on some good biscuits, and you win. And there goes the boss, with plenty of time to spare. Alright, for tray 51 through 59, I tried DPS everything. Here's me beating the 9 trays all at once. Just pretend this is not the reused footage. Now's a good time to use your imagination. Tray 60 is no joke at all, especially if you're using no biscuits and epics only. The hit shield on this thing's insane. It has so many hit points, and also the trash can it spits out. It also counters Crumble cause it slows down his attacks for some reason. Now, for this tray, I've done dozens of attempts. It took me a really long time to find the perfect team. Rebel, Linzer, Charge, Twizzly, and Crumble. The treasures are really important, the robes, watch, and monocle. Rebel, 5 chocolate. Linzer does not want the robes this time, 5 chocolate. Chartatan definitely wants the robes, 5 raspberry. Twizzly, just 5 chocolate. Crumble, 5 raspberry. Either Twizzly or Crumble gets the robes. My Chartatan has an underleveled skill and bad promotions. My Twizzly is fresh out of the womb. Level 1 magic candy, level 1 skill, and 0 stars. Now, here's the timing. I start spamming the monocle after I get hit by the boss's 3rd attack. You can use Linzer's skill right away at the beginning. After that, only use her at 7 stacks and when there's no trash can. You want to make sure she doesn't hit the trash can. Hopefully, the trash can eats one of Rebel's clones, but if not, it's okay. For Twizzly, once you pass the 1 minute mark, it may be a good idea to hold on to her skill until a trash can appears. For everyone else, just spam them. The boss inflicts this like a stackable debuff on your cookies, so that's why we brung the monocle to counter it. And there we have it. That was actually really hard. Apparently, I wasn't supposed to go that far, because the next few trays were absolutely brutal. My old Tri DPS team wasn't doing enough damage, so for tray 61, I ended up using this really cursed team. Rebel, 3 AoE DPSs, and Cream Puff. I sacrificed pretty much all my survivability. Even then, I barely did enough damage to win. Although I'm sure it's possible to beat tray 61 through 69 like this, it's definitely not worth it. It's just a huge waste of time. A beginner needs to obtain some biscuits and high rarity cookies before attempting this, so now it's time to break the rules. It's time to become a little less beginner friendly. I'm gonna start using biscuits now. They're all pretty bad biscuits though, cause my guy doesn't have any good ones. All these biscuits you're seeing right now, that's all I have to work with. I'm also gonna start using high rarity cookies like Frostflop and White Lily cause they're OP. They do way more damage than the epic cookies, which I need. My Frostflop's kind of a Frostflop cause her crystal gem's under level 10. She deals a lot less damage without it, but still better than epic cookies. Her skill and promotions are still bad. My White Lily's completely maxed out, so that's pretty good. Stormbringer's better than all of them, but my guy doesn't have her. Okay, tray 62. I'm using the old Tri DPS, except I'm using biscuits this time. The difference is absolutely massive. Tray 63, I did it again. Tray 64, the damage was starting to lack a lot, so I replaced Brulee with Frostflop. She does way more damage than all the other epics. I'm using 5 raspberry on Frostflop for now. I also replaced Financier with Fettuccine, 5 almond. Tray 65, 66, and 67, I used the same team. Tray 68, I started to get killed a lot. I had to make a lot of major adjustments. I went with a full Frost team. I could have used White Lily, but I didn't want to use her just yet. Tray 69, so the team's kinda random actually. The toppings don't matter that much. As long as Rebel has 5 almonds, it's all whatever. At this point, Rebel does start to die quite a bit. Tray 70, this tray's only easy if you use the right team. The best team to use is an electric one. Stormbringer's good for this, but you know. We're gonna use this team right here. All 5 cookies play an important role. Black Lemonade's crucial for this. She has 5 raspberry. Ice cookies remove the boss's buffs. I'm I'm using Frost Swap with 5 Raspberry. You could use a different Frost cookie instead. Linzer does not have any rope buff this time, so she's using 5 Caramel. Twizzly, 5 Apple. She's also the main DPS. Cream Puff's the best damage buffer that's also a healer, 5 Apple. There's 2 waves of minions. For these, you just want to spam everyone's skill except for Linzer. Ideally, you want to kill each wave in 1 skill rotation. For the boss, it's all just spam. Like usual, only use Linzer's skill when she's at 7 stacks. After that, this boss is just completely screwed. It takes so much damage that the game starts to lag. So I beat the Trey with 55 seconds left. Pretty easy compared to what's about to come next. Trey 71 is where things get really messy. I start to use the most random teams. In this one, Rebel's using 5 almonds, Sherbert's using 5 chocolates, and the other cookies are using the usual toppings. Trey 72 is actually really difficult. I ended up using some type of tanky team. It's like a Tartatan hyper carry of some sort. Snapdragon's 5 chocolate, and the other cookies have the same toppings as usual. Trey 73, too difficult. I brung out White Lily and she destroys everything. Notice how this team has no healer and the only defensive cookie is Fettuccine. The enemies have so much health that I need to use a quad DPS. Yes, Rebel's a DPS, I'm pretty sure. White Lily's using 5 Raspberry, everyone else is using the usual toppings. Trey 74, I use the same exact team. Trey 75, I start to get killed a lot. There's also a Librarian Wizard mini boss. Creme Brulee's good for this, so I slapped him in the team. Everyone's toppings are the same as usual. Trey 76, I swap Brulee with Parfait. Same toppings as usual. Trey 77, I use the same exact team. Trey 78, I use Caviar instead of Parfait. Trey 79, I finally used Prune Juice. Was this a bit too late? Well, probably, but oh well. Now, here's where things become really bad. Trey 80 is where the most people get stuck, and for a good reason. The boss has millions of HP. Once you kill it the first time, it actually revives and you gotta kill it a second time. Basically, you gotta kill the boss twice and it's a completely unfair fight. Oh yeah, the boss is immune to most debuffs. It also counters Creme Brulee. It's weak to fire damage, so Tartatian's the main DPS. The problem is that it's just not enough. There's Street Urchin, except guess what? There's Rai, but she's actually pretty bad. Stormbringer's supposed to be a secondary DPS, but guess what? This guy doesn't have her. Here's another problem. You need to rely on Ascensions. There's a buff that boosts your fire damage, and this is huge. The catch is that you need at least 2 cookies that are 2A. My imposter only has 2 usable cookies that qualify for this. Cream Puff and Blackberry. Overall, you need to rely on base stats way too much for this fight. This is not beginner friendly at all. There's no way a beginner will get past this stage. So back to the main question. Can a beginner beat 100 trays? The answer is no. A typical beginner can beat 60 trays, 79 if they're lucky, but not 80. It looks like my imposter won't finish the game mode. Well, it looks like I need to take things into my own hands. I'm gonna use my account. I have completely maxed out everything except for Ascensions. Technically, you could still get this stuff since I'm free to play. So here's a team I'm gonna use. Stormbringer, 5 Apple. White Lily needs 5 chocolate for the minions. Linzer, 5 chocolate if you have attack speed on your biscuit, which I do have. If not, add some caramel. She wants the rope buff. Tartatan, 5 raspberry takes the rope buff. Cream Puff, 5 apple. Now here's the timings. For the normal enemies, spam everyone except for Linzer. Make sure to press the sword icon so your sword hits the enemies. For the boss, use Linzer's skill at 7 stacks. The boss itself summons minions that do high damage. Do not use White Lily skill at all until these minions appear. Since we're using White Lily, you don't really need these sword thingies at all. You can just use them randomly. For everyone else, spam their skills. Now we're ready to take on the boss, so here we go. Hey, I won with 30 seconds left, not bad. Trey 81, it feels good to be on my account again. I'm allowed to build whatever team I want. I decided to go with a nuke team for speedrunning. Fettuccine's the only defensive cookie. I guess Rebel kinda counts. Trey 82, I'm just breezing through these trays. You wanna know how to build the team? Well, I'll show you. Stormbringer 5 apple, Fettuccine 5 almond, Rebel 5 chocolate, Frostlop 5 chocolate, Twizzly 5 apple. Trey 83, did you know that Twizzly Gummy is now a top tier DPS? Paired with Stormbringer, she's super OP. Trey 84, yeah, same team again. Instead of using a normal team, I'm abusing legendary biscuits. Trey 85, I hate to admit it, but Frost Swap is useful. Deep down, I know she's still a Frost Swap though. Trey 86, now here's the timing for the team. You could use Rebel first and then the other DPS cookies, but I just spam everyone cause why not. Trey 87, the reason why I talk about Treys briefly is because I don't want this video to be hours long. Trey 88, I'm still using the same exact team. Trey 89, well, guess what team I'm using. Trey 90, here's a boss fight. It's difficult only if you use the wrong team. So the boss is vulnerable to stuns. It's also weak to electricity for some reason. So I made this custom team. I bet you never seen it before. Stormbringer and Silverbell stun the boss. Stormbringer 5 apple, Lemonade 5 raspberry, Linzer 5 caramel, Twizzly 5 apple, Silverbell 5 chocolate. For the timings, don't worry about it too much. Like usual, use Linzer's skill at 7 stacks and then spam everyone else. No need to have exact timings or anything. As you can see right here, the boss is getting killed really fast. Oh geez, it is fast. That looks like it hurts a lot. Oh well, it's dead. That only took 41 seconds. Okay, Trey 91. At this point, the normal trays start to get difficult. Well, Trey 91's an exception. I used a nuke team on it. Trey 92. Now this one is hard. The nuke team doesn't work on it, so it's time to make a new one based on survivability. It has 3 extremely defensive healers. Yeti, Financier, and Parfait should be enough. Frost Swap synergizes extremely well with Yeti. Stormbringer is a tanky DPS. Later, we're gonna be using this team a lot, so I'll show you how to build it. There goes Trey 92 with all cookies still alive. Stormbringer 5 apple, Yeti 5 chocolate, Financier either 5 almond or 5 chocolate, Frost Swap 5 chocolate, Parfait 5 chocolate. Trey 93 is also extremely difficult. The only cookie who breaks the stage is Stardust for some reason. He counters all the enemies that explode after they die. Twizzly's good for the mini boss at the end. The boss has a lot of hit shields. This is definitely the easiest strategy. All you have to do is spam everyone without thinking. Stormbringer 5 apple, Stardust 5 chocolate, Twizzly 5 apple, Parfait 5 chocolate, Snapdragon 5 chocolate. For the next trays, I'll just get straight to the point. Trays 94 through 98 use this survivability team. Those trays are difficult, but this should be enough. Tray 99, I use a nuke team again, cause the enemies have a lot of health. Now we're finally at Tray 100. This boss is weak to healing down and electricity for some reason. Here's the team I'm gonna use. It's not special, it's just a normal one. Elder Fairy prevents your cookies from getting one-shots and also gives a healing down debuff. Stormbringer 5 apple, Elder Fairy 5 chocolate. For Rockstar, I'm feeling a little different today. 1 apple, 4 chocolate. 5 apple probably works, but I'm feeling different, alright? Lemonade 5 raspberry, Linzer 5 caramel. Spam everyone except for Linzer. By now, you know how to time her. So here we go, final boss. Okay, that's all 100 trays. Now you should subscribe, cause I'm poor. Well, actually, my imposter is more poor than me, but just subscribe, okay? Alright, see ya.